Tokyo motherfucking Ghoul, chapter 31. Please just bear with me with this review. It's gonna be long. I'm gonna tell you guys that right now. I'm gonna take my sweet time. We're gonna go in depth. There's a lot to talk about with this chapter. That Sasaki monologue. The resolution with the white-haired Kaneki, dude. Everything that took place with that final bout with Seido. Seido's dialogue. Akira speaking with him. The reveal about the Quinky Steel transportation with Maruday's operation. Motherfucking AMON, dude. Is fucking floppy. I'm hype. God ARIMA descends upon the auction. Tsukiyama's father is revealed to be Monsieur Croquet. We don't even know what the fuck is happening with Kaneki's personas at this point. Hinami has been taken under Sasaki's wing. Ishida pulled some grand motherfucking epicness and did that crazy shit with the jump cuts and just insane reveals in your face. Done. Like that quick jump cut and then you're just like, what the fuck is happening? What is all this? He hasn't done something like this since the end of part 1. And I'm just like, damn it, dude. This is why I love this series. It's so deep. There's so much depth to everything. Like this chapter, if you go and read in between the lines. Let's go. Let's dive in. I'm going to, if you see me looking at the screen, I'm going to be looking at the screen. I did a live reaction already. Definitely check that live reaction out. That is a beautiful live reaction. I wasn't even listening to music because I was so hyped to read this since it's been late. But the dialogue is what's so deep. Does this voice know my 20 years? Haise. Am I scary? Okay? The young white-haired Kaneki is having this dialogue with Sasaki throughout. The resolution. Acting as the sort of avatar for the resolution of black-hair and white-hair Kaneki. Which, ironically enough to me, is represented by Haise. But that's neither here nor there. To see Sasaki's realization, he started to realize it last week where he was speaking with Hinami. He's like, to know that Kaneki was loved like this and had people that considered him family as I do. He must have been a good person. And now the wall starts to break down. You see in this chapter, he's like, I don't even know who's controlling this body anymore, dude. Meanwhile, you have him going against Seido in a fucking epic battle if you look at these panels. And Seido's just going crazy. His half-cockaged mask is warping like ridiculously. He's being consumed by it. But the dialogue, I think, is attributed to Sasaki in this monologue that's happening in the background. Seido's dialogue, meanwhile, Mommy, Daddy, I'm sorry, I can't help it, I couldn't help it, crying out into the sky as Sasaki goes in on him, dude. And he's not done yet, dude. This fight is fucking epic. When I want to go back and read these last like 6 chapters and just watch this fight in its entirety, because there's something like this that wants me, where I'm like, yo, even though I know Studio Pierrot is gonna fuck it up, I would love to see reanimated. I wish that we could get somebody else, just get somebody else on the project and let's go, dude, because this shit is hype. Because you are strong. This is still the monologue. And there's a large gaping hole. It seems like I was swallowed into that hole. Parentheses. Lie. Dude. Ishida! The way this works with his prior foreshadowing, the depth to this dialogue, and the way he has it set up with the panels where Seido's just going berserk and his cockage is just shifting on top of him and keeps developing. You see him, he gets these, this Kokaku shining on his back, dude. I'm just like, yo. Meanwhile, Sasaki's chasing him down, going in. It's like a huge hole. The artwork this chapter, dude. The strength. Parentheses, solitude. Meanwhile, you have Seido, tasty, just raving in the background to plug that gap. Oh my god, this chapter was worth the fucking wait, dude. I can tell you that right now, because this first part is just straight coming off of last week before the jump cut, and we see all the resolution of what happened with the auction and everything like that. But we'll get into that. We're going page by page right now. Page by page for this review, and I already did that twice for the live reaction. You know this chapter is hype. Alright. I don't know which one of us is controlling this body anymore. The depth to it, at this rate, will disappear. Your consciousness is already. Haise, listen, look at me. I'm not all that strong. Please, don't erase me. and you see that God, Sasaki's like a white kid. I don't know about that translation right there, but I feel where he's coming from. This white-haired kid, young white-haired Kaneki. It's not even the last young-haired version of Kaneki in his persona we saw was young black hair, and he told his persona of Kaneki to rest for a while. That is how Haise was generally created. On top of, you know, the amnesia, was the very fact that they resolved themselves together, the separation that was between them, and came together to form this. White hair's entity is the persona that Kaneki reached through his trials, through his main persona, and now it's being represented as a child. So that means that black hair resides with it. It's complicated, I know, and I have these weird ways of referring to it, but you have to understand that I'm not bullshitting you. Like, there are these various personas. Kaneki has multiple fucking personalities that are blending and intermixing in completely ridiculous ways. Centipede is separate from all of this. So, we didn't see any Centipede this arc, but that's neither here nor there. The introduction of this and to see Kaneki's persona right now, how he was at the end of part 1, him speaking to Sasaki, dude. And Sasaki's real, she's like, I wasn't the only one who was afraid. You were as well. I see. Dude, he's like, I will save you. And they go in. He doesn't know who's controlling the body more. Throughout this chapter, I can't tell you which persona has the forefront at this point. And I can't tell you if what we're seeing now at the end of this chapter, which we'll get to, where he says, I want to, you know, watch over this girl. He says to Arima, referring to Hinami, he's like, give her to me. I can't tell you who's saying that. If it's Sasaki, if it's a mixture of both of them, if Sasaki still is piloting the body, but somehow it's all the will of Kaneki. Ishida, the way he set this up, there's so many ways he can take it. It's so deep. There's so many things to read in between the lines. This chapter is fucking grand, dude. And then the way he breaks this down. On that day, November 11th, the CCG had carried out 2 operations simultaneously. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What is it? This whole thing has been going on. There's been something else? And we find out Marude is behind it, leading this operation, you know, with this transport with the Quinky steel. And I'm like, that makes sense to me. That's why young Washu had the reins to this, because CCG's go-to for big operations is Marude. I'm guessing they felt the Quinky steel was more important than the auction operation. At the same time, they had JUUZO over there. Washu is fucking crazy, maniacal and everything like that. He proves it with this narration, how he's like one-eyed king, checkmate. Because Aogiri failed entirely in this operation, alright? The Aogiri knew this information. Marude was set to stop him. We see Tatara, dude. Not even fully, but just a tiny little in the back when we see Tatara. He's like, let's retreat now. I'm like, yo, it's Tatara. Then we see Koryu. Alright, I didn't know who this character is. It's Koryu, I believe, and this is a mistranslation, but I didn't recognize this character during the live reaction. Looked it up immediately after, and this is what Tokyo Ghoul Wiki says. It's a man. I couldn't tell if it was a man or woman during it, but in the appearance section, they clearly say with an androgynous appearance. So I'm not wrong for that, alright? But the biggest part about this is he's in charge of the 4th Ward and a former protege of Arima. This dude that warded them off at the Quinky Steel Junction under Marude's command. So, I'm hype on this character. I actually really want to know more about him. I can't remember if I've seen him before or not. Probably. I believe at the end of part 1, he was amongst that group with, you know, Shiroka and everybody else that was going in against Eto. So, we'll see. I need to go back and look at that. But that's neither here nor there. It's time. Piero retreats. They don't mention anything about Hirako's squad except for talking about Kuroiwa and how he was the first one since Arima to kill a ghoul with his hands in this chapter. We see Hoji, okay? Hoji's like lead the vanguard, clear them out. He's going in to clean up the remnants. Ayato's like, we gotta get Hinami, fucking Hinami. I love to see that, dude. It's one panel, but to see that Ayato genuinely cares about Hinami at this stage speaks volumes. Speaks volumes to how things are set up. And I wonder what's going to happen going forward later in Tokyo Ghoul Re when we get Toka coming back to the forefront with Renji and everything like that. The biggest thing I want out of Tokyo Ghoul Re, besides seeing Hide and getting the confirmation if he's dead or alive, out of everything we haven't seen, because the whole Kaneki thing is very fucking crazy and intriguing to me. I don't want Ishida I want him to keep going with what he's doing because this is crazy. Some people might feel teased and cheated that we didn't get a concrete resolution to it, but I think it was done brilliantly. But nevertheless, what I was going to say was, I want to see Renji confront Uta. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to the chapter, alright? This is Checkmate One-Eye King. I believe that's Young Washu speaking. This panel at the end of this page, you know, Triple Blaze, the rest of them retreat, leave Hinami there. We see Masumai, we see Kanye, and we see Monsieur Croquet. The dude that was bidding with Big Madam. I was like, wait a second, during a live reaction, you can look at it. Just wait for me. Your dad is doing his best. Shu. Okay? Tsukiyama's father is Monsieur Croquet. And I know it's true because he's fucking ordering around Matsume and Kanye. Alright? Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy, dude. Then God Arima descends on the scene. And I'm just like, holy shit. Hinami's looking at me. He's like the god of death of the CCG. After the fight with Takizawa, my body no longer. And the thing about it is, I'm glad, I love this page, and the way it's like that you see Sasaki brutally mangled, or Kaneki Sasaki. It's going to be Kaneki x Sasaki right now until we find out what the fuck's going on and how it's resolved. Please, that girl is my, and Arima looks at him like, what are you trying to say right now? Because the thing about it is, if Kaneki's persona supplants the Sasaki persona in the eyes of the CCG, I think that's when they start to question his expendability and whether or not they should keep him around as a tool to use. I don't know where Arima's mind is at. And I love Arima. Arima's one of my favorite characters in the series. I'll tell you that right now. I can't tell you because Arima's mind has been something that's been elusive since the jump. Even if you read Jack, you're still not going to be able to get yourself into the depths of that. So to find out, I've read the chapter where he fights Kaneki many a time. So right here, all I can think that he's thinking is he's curious about. He doesn't want to humor the resolution of the personas in any way, shape, or form. But he's aware of what's taking place right now. Akira's aware because it shows that. Commander, blah, blah, casualties and everything like that. The male ghoul, Big Madam. I like how they stress that because ever since JUUZO said father, I was like, well, I'm like, fucking Big Madam. The grimiest shit that ever lived. Luckily, Urei gets some credit for this. Urei actually gets credit because I was thinking he's not going to get any credit. Shiraz going to get all credit, but no, they all get their honorable mention, right? Talking about different genes and blah blah. The people are talking about the aftermath. Kuroiwa, you know, the first person to kill a ghoul with his bare hands since Amon. I don't remember Amon killing a ghoul with his bare hands, but I believe that shit. Amon's a fucking monster. Speaking of Amon, dude, the next fucking page. We find out that Floppy was Amon. He's hunting down Aogiri, which means his persona is intact. I knew he wouldn't be broken like, you know, Takizawa Seido was. But you see him, he cleaned up the fleeing Aogiri from both the Quinky Steel operation and the auction. He's a fucking monster. You see the dead ghoul lying on the ground being like Floppy. So that's what they're referring to this whole time. Basically, after Kano's experiments, he's gone rogue at this point. He's still trying to carry out his mission. But I don't know what his resolve is at. Why, if he's just blindly just have to exterminate all ghouls and what the fuck is happening in Mon's mind. But all we get, his only dialogue is Yasuhisa, which refers to his old partner, which he now wields. Okay? So, which he now wields her old Quinky. But that's neither here nor there, right? There are signs of cannibalism on the remains of those it attacked. So that means not only is he Beast One Eye, you know, new One Eye experiment, he's getting Kakuja. He's going down the Kakuja path. Amon is gonna be fucking crazy, dude. We see him, Floppy himself, just lurking. That shit was beast to me. Alright? Caused many casualties among... Wait, hold up. They're talking about Pineapple, yeah. The mysterious ghoul that caused many casualties on the CCG side. Taki's, yeah. They're talking about Taki's. So he fled. He got away. We see Akira look at Seido. And he's like, it's Mado. Just fiendishly, he flees off into the distance. So Seido got away from this encounter. Was carved into the brains of the ghoul investigators as a big threat. So now, I'm guessing that Seido, Pineapple, is gonna be dubbed Pineapple officially. I think they'll dub him Pineapple, and I think he's gonna get that SS official rating. I cornered this girl, is what Sasaki says. Can I have the rights over her? And the only thing in that is, the only things he can do with her in the eyes of the CCG is send her to Cochlea, or use her as Quinky material. I don't think he's gonna do either like that, and I don't know of any precedent where they just hoarded over ghouls, except, you know, like you can go to Cochlea, like Donato went to Cochlea, You can use them for information or what. I don't know what he's gonna, but I know that he's trying to protect Hinami, and I can't tell you who's operating. If you look at this chapter, the hair and how Ishida colored Sasaki's hair, there's a lot less black in it. And it leads me to believe that even though Sasaki still has the forefront of activity, his will and his impetus, he's completely given himself to Kaneki, which is probably indicative of the line of, I will save you. I didn't realize that you were just as afraid as me. So Sasaki is on a mission himself to find out and confront this other side of him and help it and resolve both of them. And I think Kaneki's okay with that. You see this in this last panel. You see the young white-haired Kaneki standing behind him, looking at him still. Arima's response to it, he just looks at him, doesn't say shit. He's like, tell the medic, rank 1 Sasaki is injured. He just doesn't play, dude. He's just not playing this shit. The symbolism in this chapter is too real. We got the auction raid, accommodations, distinguished service. Pretty much everybody. Juzo, Washu got his shit. Everyone from Juzo Squad. Akira, Sasaki, Hayashimura, Urie got his fucking credit. Shirazu, Mitsuki, Psycho. Alright? Many sacrifices. Tokyo is still bleeding. Dude, fucking... Next week, opening color page. Ishida, I love you, dude. This chapter, it was not what I was expecting at all, and that's something that makes it glorious, because the way you did it is classic. It's classic Ishida. This is what I think is classic Ishida at this point, and I've missed it, and I fucking love it, dude. Let me know your thoughts on this chapter. How you feel about what's taking place with Sasaki. How you feel about the reveal about Shu's dad. Amon as Floppy just going in, wrecking, the escaped Aogiri members and whatnot. The resolution of what happened between the fight with Sasaki and Seido. Dude, just so much this chapter. So much fucking epicness. Let me know your thoughts. I'm out. Peace.